everybody. So I just want to give you a quick update on how I'm doing. It's been a doozy of an illness. Been pretty tough, but I am getting there. I'm less congested every day and not coughing quite as much as I was. And I'm so grateful for all the kind wishes and thoughts and prayers that have gone my way. And as you know, my mom came and is here helping me. So I'm really grateful for that. And my dad as well. And I'm just grateful for all the love that's been shown me in this last week. So thank you very much. And I thought I wanted to do a quick little tag that I've been meaning to do now that I've finished all of the movies that are in Disney's Lifetime. I thought it would be fun to kind of do a tag based on Walt Disney's life, the movies of Walt Disney's life. And what I want to do is have this be a tag for everybody that's in All Things Animated. So if you're a member of All Things Animated, do a blog, do a post with your answers, do a video with your answers, whatever it might be, and let's just have some really fun discussion. And I just think those people are probably the most likely to have seen all of these canon films. And if you miss a couple, no big deal. So let's see what my answers to the questions are, and then you can give your answers as well. So my first question is, what is your favorite Fantasia short? And it's really tough because I actually genuinely love them all. But I think my favorite is Night on Bald Mountain, just because the contrast between Satan and his minions and the music, and then the peacefulness of the Ave Maria, and the contrast between the two and good versus evil is really beautiful and beautifully captured in the short. Then my next question is, what is your favorite Disney short? If you've seen the wartime films, pick one from them. If not, pick another short. My favorite of all the shorts from the wartime era is The Whale Who Sang at the Met. And this is about Wally the Whale and how he sang opera. And I just think it's so weird, it's so nutty, the music is so great, and the ending is so bizarre that it's just very entertaining. Then next is, and that's in Make Mine Music. The next is Lady Tremaine, Cruella, Maleficent, or Evil Queen, the better she-villain. So out of those, who's the best villain? It's tough, but I think my favorite, they're all really good, but I think that Maleficent is my favorite. She's so strong, she's so intimidating, she's so scary. She has Philip in the dungeon, she has this curse on Aurora. It's so beautifully animated, beautifully voiced, and it's just a great character, even if they did try to ruin it with Maleficent the movie. Then next I have, what is a Disney film you loved as a child that doesn't hold up that well? I would say Peter Pan. It just has some racist elements, has some uncomfortable elements. They're just so mean to Wendy, and I don't really understand why. She never really does anything to deserve that. And I enjoy the slapstick, but it is a little bit less compelling as an adult than it was as a kid. Okay, then next is, what is a Disney film you didn't love as a child but like as an adult? And I think that a lot of the Golden Era ones were ones that I didn't appreciate as much as a child. As an adult, definitely Pinocchio would be the biggest one. I did not like it as a little girl. It was too scary. It was too different. But now as an adult, I like it very much. Okay, then next is Cinderella, Aurora, or Snow White. Better princess. And I think out of those three, I go with Cinderella. Cinderella worked really hard her whole life. She was very positive. She was very warm and kind to all around her. And she's just a little bit more developed than I think Aurora or Snow White. Next, favorite Alice in Wonderland character. And I think I like, I guess I like the Cheshire Cat. I really like when he says, where are you trying to go? And she says, I don't know. And he says, well, it doesn't matter which way you go then. It doesn't matter which way you pick. He's sort of a nonsense philosopher, but not as much as the caterpillar. Next is, what do you prefer, Dumbo or Bambi? And I think out of those choices, I prefer Dumbo. It's just a little bit more simple. I love the relationship between Timothy Q. Mouse and Dumbo, and when Timothy Q. Mouse stands up for Dumbo, just because he's different. And the Elephants on Parade is so nutty. It's just really, really good. Bambi's wonderful as well, but it's just, I just think it's a little bit weaker than Dumbo. Okay, next is rank the live action remakes. 101, Alice, Jungle Book, Maleficent, and Cinderella. So I would rank it as Cinderella, Jungle Book, 101 Dalmatians, or actually 102 Dalmatians, 101 Dalmatians, and then I'd say Alice in Wonderland and Maleficent. Next is 101 Dalmatians, Aristocats, or Lady and the Tramp. I think out of those three, I would pick 101 Dalmatians as my favorite. Although I love Lady and the Tramp as well, but I just love Cruella, and I love how it creates tension, but then there's still comedy. I like all the side characters in 101 Dalmatians. I really like the way they use the sketch animation style in that movie. Next is, of all the shorts, which do you think would make the best feature film? And yeah, because something like The Whale Who Sang at the Met doesn't really, I think, bode well for a feature film. So for me, out of all the shorts, I'd have pick either Mickey and the Beanstalk or the From Fun and Fancy Free, or I would pick Johnny Appleseed. Because I think there's still more story that you could tell from there, and I love the artistry of it, and I love the music in there from Melody Time. Next is, what's the favorite and least favorite of the first 20 Disney films? So my favorite of these first 20 Disney films is Fantasia. And it's just so bold. It's so different. It's a unique experience that you're not going to have in any other movie. And I just love it for that. And I find it gets richer and better every time I see it. My least favorite of the first 20 Disney films is Aristocats. It's either Aristocats or Sword in the Stone are my two least favorites of this, of the first 20 films. Next is, what are your overall thoughts on Walt Disney as a person? You know, there's lots of rumors and stuff that he was anti-Semitic and things like that. I find when I actually read the things that are supposedly proving that, to me, it's not convincing to me. But he was somebody who was incredibly bold and daring, and I think that it's easy to sort of paint that kind of person as a bully and a bad guy because they are a bold leader. But I am so grateful for bold thinkers in this world and people who are willing to take huge chances, because that's when you get real creativity. You know, I'm not saying he was a perfect man, but I think that he added a lot to our society. He was a visionary man, and I am grateful for him. Okay, the next is, out of the first 20 reviews, what film have you not seen that you want to see, or what review did you learn something new? Did you see it in a new way? Obviously, that's kind of hard for me to answer because I did the reviews, but I think that Alice in Wonderland, I really had a whole new appreciation for it this time around. I loved it. It was, I think, 13 on my initial canon series I did on my blog. But it's definitely going to be top 10 this time. I don't know, I was just so impressed this time around with the idea that Alice was daring to see the world in a new way. And that was sort of the whole point of Wonderland in this particular version, is that she believed that the world would be better if everything had pictures and everything was based on nonsense. And here she jumps into that and sees if it is true. And I found that so interesting and fascinating. And so for me, it's more than just a bunch of fun characters. It's actually sort of a utopian experiment in a way. Okay, then next is, the last question is, Coachman, Stromboli, Monstro, or Honest Fox? What is the best Pinocchio villain? And I think that you have to go with, it's tough because each one of those villains has a different thing that makes him scary. Like Monstro is obviously a monster. He's very fierce and ferocious, whereas Honest Fox is very sly and slick, and he's dangerous in that way. Stromboli is big and a good salesman, bombastic kind of. The Coachman is just evil personified, and so I guess I'd have to go with the Coachman. And he's inflicting his evilness on little boys to make it even worse, and he's just a beast, and he's never really stopped. He's never punished in any way for his crimes, and so I think the Coachman is probably the worst, but they're all pretty bad. And so yeah, that's my Walt Disney Films tag, and so go ahead and do the tag, and I look forward to your answers as well. And thank you again for all the support. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks. Bye.